Hear my own thoughts this time. your boy, Jimmy Buffo. We're back on stream. But looks like there's something different. I wonder what it is. Oh, could it be that you're seeing my large corpulent form? I almost said corporeal form. Howdy, everyone. So, what's our plan for today, right? That's probably what you're all wondering. Along with, dang, is it going to turn that music up any louder? There we go. I want it to be an ant's whisper on the wind. Not too much. Anyways, what do we have today? Why am I alive? Who are you people? Why are you in my toadstool? Yeah, well, honestly, this is kind of somewhat impromptu. So, when you think of sponsorships on the big old Weberino, especially for streamers, you think of a couple things, right? You think of, and I'm not sponsored by any of these, I want to point that out. Think of either I can't even remember what I was trying to, the one game, Raid Shadow Legends. You think of Opera GX. You think of there was a third one to this. Anyways, what I'm trying to get at is there's a lot of different streamer options for, like, if you want to get sponsors and whatnot on the old YouTubes or the Twitches. And honestly, you know, that's nice, but I don't like doing things just because people are paying me to, which is why this one is not a sponsored stream. We might get a sponsorship from someone at some point, but yeah, no, today we're just reviewing, since I got this lovely, I'll make sure I'm holding up the right end, this lovely little waifu cup here. It comes with these four Gamer Subs flavors, if you can see here. And these are the four we'll be trying today. As well as, I've had this before, right? And for some reason I ordered the caffeine-free version. It probably was because the other one sold out. And that's probably why I have not been jittery before when I drank it. So, best way I could describe this flavor, by the way, the Sweet Six Pack is, it's like almost a bubblegum texture. I know that there's proper ways of phrasing it, but Bricky, and the biggest reason I got that one before was, you know, gotta love Bricky. Bricky's pretty awesome about this sort of thing. Got good taste and all. So I figured I'd try it. And yeah, pretty dang good. So, what after that then? What are we going to do after that? Well, we are going to be... Does anyone know what this means? Do anyone know what this is? This lovely little contraption here is for tying flies. It's something I haven't done in a long time, but I do remember the basics of it. And also because it's been a while, but I went to Fly Masters and I meant to tie this for some friends who still fly fish quite a bit. This little kit, it's just for ant and beetle patterns of flies. And I don't know if you can see the logo here. Hopefully my pinky's showing enough. but it's from Fly Masters of Indianapolis, which is an amazing shop if you ever were in Indy and you do any sort of fly fishing. Um, yeah, it's just it's awesome. I love the guys. I've been going there for a long time, and it's run by a bunch of older gentlemen. Yeah, I haven't been in too recently, but for the most part, the ownership hasn't really changed. The original owner was, I think, Derek, but I'm not sure if he does that anymore. He might have fully retired because they did this as like who am I kidding? He wouldn't retire. He loved it. He loved it doing it too much. Yeah, basically everyone who was basically at retirement age comes there, and that's where they sort of spend their time, because they're not really working per se. I mean, they are working. Obviously, it's a shop. You got to run it, but a lot of it's just more so out of love for the hobby. And they do trips. They organize trips down to places like the Keys and all that, or at least they used to. I don't know if they do anymore. I should really catch back up with them. And they go fishing for, you know, bonefish and pompano and all that, tarpon, snook, you know, the works basically. As well as running their own guide service out of Indianapolis. I forget if it's on the Wabash or if it's on the White, but I think Derek's still in charge of that. Or it might be John, actually. John might have taken over from that. But just going out and catching smallmouth in good areas, and they're very skilled. I actually learned how to properly fly fish from them in a class with my dad, and yeah, no, they were very patient with me. This is way back when. But anyways, that is my favorite part of fly fishing, is really the social aspect of it. Getting to know a bunch of cool people in my youth really sort of shaped me into the man I am. We might get to see Frogette here, little BMT. She looks pretty interested for some reason. I'm wondering if she's expecting food, which we'll do that in a little bit here. We're probably going to be a short stream here, so I'll take care of that when that's over. Yeah. So, anyways, got my handy dandy traveling cup here with me. It's no pattern on the back. It's a KFC cup, which my wife got this for me. It's really been quite nice, actually. Anywho, I think we'll kick off this shindig here with Russian Badgers, Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000, which you know, they any of the streamer affiliated ones are going to be plugged to the nines for the most part, except for there's a few from some people I don't follow too much, so I don't know if they did, but I'm assuming they did, because I mean, obviously if they're getting money out of it, they're going to want to say something about it. So let's go ahead and we'll give this a whiff first. We'll do a couple things here. We're gonna be smelling the powder beforehand. We're gonna be adding the water to it, obviously drinking it, and it will be given a sort of a yay or nay on whether I like the flavor and like the notes of all of it. Whew. All right. It has a really interesting smell to it. So, allegedly, according to this, it is... Here, I'll just read the description on the site for you. A strawberry lime flavor developed by the Russian Badger liking. I'm actually going to use a little less than you're supposed to, right? Because I want to save, because we have 4 and I only have 3 bottles of water here, and I'm afraid to drink more than 3 bottles worth. It's going to be a super concentrate, but hopefully that won't impact the flavor at all, other than making it stronger than what it actually is. So if there's any hints of it being too super strong, we'll go ahead and we'll chalk that all up to it just being super concentrated. Oh, hey Justin, how's it going, Bubby? Hope things are going well. You get to see fat adult Toad drinking gamer sups out of a KFC branded cup here. What is that? Just since I got my little waifu cup here, they give a little here, not this. This is not the waifu cup. This is the waifu cup. Oh, wrong one. Wrong side. Hopefully Twitch don't ding me for that. That was only for a second, but they send little samples of it, not all their products, of some of their products here, and so we're trying out all the different flavors of Gamer Sups. This here is going to be Guacamole Gamer Fart 9000, and I'm using too little water, and hopefully this will still taste all right. So smelled fine enough. Supposedly it's a strawberry lime flavor, and we're just gonna give it a little sippy doo here. No, it's not a sponsored thing. It's a thing I've actually chosen. Which is that's the funniest part of this is not sponsored in the slightest. I'm just trying this stuff because I got it for free, and really I don't know. It sounds like fun. Might make this a thing where we just try a bunch of different samples of these, see which one we like, and maybe at the end of it all we'll figure out like a ranking list at some point. Obviously not with just the 4 we've gotten here today, but just like once we've gotten to the end of it. So I actually did a little research, right, before this. There are 49 separate flavors of the GG energy, so the Gamer Sups energy, basically. They got a lot of different stuff, so like we're gonna be taking a while here. I'm not gonna read these all off, but yeah, just take my word for it. There's a ton. Ever tried any freeze-dried candies? Yes, I have. I love the little Whoppers or Milk Duds or whatever they are. That are like when they're freeze-dried, they like puff up and they've got like all the caramel coming out. That stuff is good, man. So, you know, I'm actually kind of surprised because I'm a big fan of strawberry, big fan of lime, and it does have a lot of those, but I feel like the pungent strawberry is kind of overwhelming the lime sourness. I don't know. I'm not a huge. I know some people like it a lot, but I don't know, man. It's not bad. You love the sour Skittles and Jolly Ranchers, yeah. Can't say I don't blame you. I've had. I think my wife got. What were they? Yeah, the Jolly Ranchers was the ones I was trying to. It was like was it Skittles or was it the Jolly Ranchers? Jolly Ranchers were really good actually. I don't usually like Jolly Ranchers. Is the funny thing, but yeah, Jolly Ranchers were delicious. All right, go ahead and finish this bad boy off before we switch on to the next one. Ooh. Oh, yeah, that I don't remember who had the Jolly Ranchers. Somebody kept bringing them in. They were good to suck on, just because like you know how work was. It was dusty and wanted something. Obviously, some people tried sneaking dip and stuff like that in, and that didn't work out too well for them. But Jolly Ranchers were always fine, so they worked well. All right. I think I'm gonna get the ones that I don't know if I'm gonna like out of the way first. So, not a huge fan of cherry, but this is Clyde's Black Cherry. I don't know if you can see this very well. Why you couldn't have phones on the floor? Oh, I understood why. They were all about productivity, dude. So full disclosure, he and I actually used to work at a warehouse together. So our number one priority was just getting products into boxes and out the door, and that's why they did all that. ISMR for all the cultured folk out there. For one, I'm not super cultured, but I do like my ASMR. But yeah, no, it's just productivity. Whenever a job place doesn't want you to have phones out on the floor, it's because they want you to be working like the whole time. They don't like they can't ban like social activity interaction because otherwise people would quit. So that's like the most they will allow. But yeah, having your phone out on the floor is basically like yeah, these aren't warm, but they're like room temp. So you get nice, lovely, warm room temp water for flavor. It's not the worst, but I have a feeling by the end of this I'm going to be like humming off my rocker because these are all technically energy drinks. It's supposed to wake you up basically. While you're playing for long periods of time, and well, I don't know. I don't know how I'm gonna react to having it. It's gonna be too much probably, but as long as I don't go overboard. All right, so brother, I just woke up from sleeping off 2 margaritas, so no. Full disclosure, 2 24 ounces worth of margarita, so it's probably about anywhere from I'd say probably 4 or 5 to, well, I don't know how many shots of tequila they typically add to them. Probably 8 if the strength is anything to go by, but yeah, right. It was great. We went to a Mexican restaurant, had a little couple margaritas, enjoyed ourselves, came home, and I just took a fat nap for about 3 hours. Slept it off, got ready for stream. Sis boomba. We're here. So, after having a couple sips of this, I can definitively say they are like like you get a nice cherry sour to it. It's not too sweet. It's very much like I'm trying to think of what it's called. Um, I think like a Jolly Rancher. Your last work night before your days off. How many days off are you gonna get, bud? Like a cherry. I think cherry Jolly Rancher is probably the best way to describe this. And the Clyde's Black Cherry is apparently GSXR Clyde's flavor. And he does Destiny content from what I understand. You know, let me go ahead and refresh my memory. Yep, he does a lot of Destiny 2 content, so that's actually really awesome. Really ironic that I can't seem to escape Destiny no matter where I go, which is, it's good, but you know, until Thursday. So you really get the weekends is what I'm hearing. Like the weekends are your big drop moment for like getting work. That's kind of all right, unless it's like a shift schedule thing where it's like you're working 4 or 5 days in a row, and then you're off for a couple, like 3 or 4 days, and then you're back on 5 or 6 or however many days. I could see that being a thing. Tuesdays to Sunday this week. Okay. Oh, Tuesday, not Thursday. Oh, no, you worked Tuesday to Sunday this week. So, yeah, they're probably just, like, trying to pace you, rotate you with a couple people so that your guys aren't as worked. But having, like, a straight, let's see, till Thursday would be 3 days off, 3 solid days off. That's pretty good. I'd take that. Kind of what I'm working now. I have a feeling that if I drink all this, I'm going to end up going loopy. I'm already starting to get a sugar headache from drinking too much. I think just for the sake of preserving my very fragile taste, I'm going to have a disposal area here for it. I'll be very careful to not be rude with it, because this is good gamer subs. This is good stuff. It's just my head's going gung. So you know that heartbeat's starting to get up. Yeah, it would have been better to do multiple cups in a tasting. I never claimed to be a smart man. It's good because I'm not a smart man by the slightest. Oh, goodness. Also, after this, because this is gonna take maybe like 10-15 more minutes. After this, we're gonna be doing some I'm bumping my mic and everything. This is fun. I could have invited her, but she's nice and asleep. So this is all my not all of it, but this is some of my fly fishing stuff. And I got here. I've got this fly tying kit here for making floating ant and beetles. Now, it's what was I gonna say? It's. Whew, I'm really feeling it now. Yeah, I should have just done tastings. This is a terrible idea. I did a terrible job organizing this. Anywho, yeah, we're gonna be tying some flies. We might do some improv towards the very end, but it's been a little bit since I've done fly tying. Yep, fly fishing. I love fly fishing. It's been about, I'd say, 8 months since I last did it, but that's also the last time I went fishing, period, so. But yeah. What is fly fishing? So, let's see. Can I actually pull up like a we're gonna get educational up in here. One moment, please. I apologize. So let me see if we got a good view of it. So I'll actually pull up a couple different tabs so I can just do some better edumacation. I went fishing for the first time last year in Rensselaer and caught a small bass. Yeah. So I'm just gonna see if I can't find the best like overview. And again, none of this is sponsored. Please don't assume that I'm someone big enough for sponsorships or anything like that. Because if this was a sponsorship and I just like completely blew off what I was initially doing, I think they'd probably have my butt. like for real. Let me. Where's that? Boy. Window display. Add source. Add the source. There we go. Beautiful. I gotta resize my video capture device. What's that set at? Scale. Actually, I got a better idea. Let's make it size. Let's make it. See, I'm a not a wizard in the slightest in terms of how fast I can get this stuff done. 450 by that's too small. Let's do 650 by. Actually, no. Let's do 650 by 800. That should be right about the scale. A little more. 900. 950. 1000. That's close enough. We'll do that. You think the drinks are affecting me? Probably. Many such cases. Actually, I'm just gonna fit it to. Ooh, fit it to screen. Yeah, my brain is screaming right now. It's saying, "You gotta be doing 30 things at once right now." So $12.99, $8.25. $12.99. $8.25. Alright, we're gonna see if this configures here. Our odds are low, but not zero. Alright. So, what are the basics of fly fishing, right? So what you're doing is you're going out, you're using this unique sort of reel and rod that are both designed to basically, the reel is not actually what you're going to be mostly reeling with, even though this guy's doing it. I don't know why. Most of the time you're going to be pulling in line with your hand, which is why a lot of fly fishermen, when they're fighting bigger fish, they'll have actual gloves, because the friction that can be generated between the line and your fingers can actually like cut you and burn you. But you're using these little this line. I don't know if you notice it. So the green section there, it's a very specialized line that. What it does is, depending on which kind you have, there's a couple different types. But the most common one for like most stream situations is a floating line. So it's covered in this like waxy coating and makes it really, really fat. And that's not because it needs to be that waterproof, but it's actually because the goal of it is, how would I describe it? The goal of it is to be heavy enough to throw the fly, if that makes sense. So when you, let me see if I can get a good shot of what he's doing. When you notice them, here, looks like a good shot. There. See how he's doing this like wind up thing? He's got a bunch of line out and he's doing this like whipping motion back and forth. There's a specific way to whip your line, and you don't want to do it fast enough to where you're hearing sonic cracks, because like what that's doing is you're putting unwanted stress on your line, and that can actually break it. But what you're doing is these flies right here, they're real tiny, right? A lot of them are, I should say. Because they're meant to be like little, little flies, literally. There's nymphs as well, which are like the baby of a lot of aquatic insects. And your goal is to deceive fish with these, obviously the same as any other kind of lure, if you will, to bite it, and then obviously it's the same as any other kind of fishing. You set the hook, and you go for the bring fish in, take pictures, or eat it, or whatever you plan on doing with it. But yeah, no, it's see what he did there. He was utilizing his stripping of the, he grabs the line and he strips it back towards him. Normally what I'd say with that is you want to you don't want to set the hook like how he did. Oh no, he's fighting the fish. So let's see if he does it from the side or if he does it. A lot of anglers will do it from where he's doing it, where it's like straight vertical up. And what from what all the John and them taught me at Flowmasters, actually not the best way to set the hook, because when you pop it straight up like that, you're putting a lot more. First of all, you have to have a lot more vertical headspace to be able to set, bring your rod up to set it. And also, doing it from the side, so instead of going straight up like this, if you go from like the side and go back a little bit with the rod, you can actually not only generate a lot more, like you can, what's the word I'm looking for? You can set the hook a lot more effectively without generating as much energy into the actual rod, and you'll be less likely as well to hook the fish in a way that they don't like. You don't want it to get hooked. A lot of times setting it from the side like this, so swinging back, will actually set it more closer to the corner of the mouth instead of like straight onto the roof. A lot of circle hooks function that way, where it's specifically designed that tension will pull it automatically to the corner of the mouth, the fish's mouth, as opposed to setting it deeper in the fish where you're going to have issues. So yeah, some people use dry flies. He's probably doing dry fly fishing here. Let's see, does he actually show what he's using? Doesn't look like it. Nymphing. Okay. So he was using a dry dropper rig, which that's using these, basically dropping it into pockets of water where you're trying to aim for, and catching trout on the rise, which are basically trout feeding on, aquatic insects that are either just rising out, just hatching, or they're just straight up just on top of the water. Versus nymphing, where it's like, typically you'll use something, it's not really a bobber per se, it's like a because a bobber, right, you think something that's going to float there sort of obnoxiously. They'll use something called a strike indicator, which it does somewhat float, but it's not as like, you're not depending on it to float. It's a lot smaller. A lot of times it's like mostly yarn, just meant to let you know, because since it's subsurface, a lot of times it's almost impossible to see if you're if a fish is taking your nymph, and so having that strike indicator when a fish strikes or whatever, it'll actually jerk or jolt the strike indicator, sort of like how a bobber would, but instead of it giving like tension, which might actually like alert the fish to that it being a deception, it just kind of goes down real easily and lets you know that there's a fish there, but without knowing without letting the fish know that there's a hook there. And then streamers are not like our streamers, not like going on Twitch and streaming. It's pretty generic. It can be anything you really want it to be. But they're mostly subsurface stuff, made to imitate stuff like other fish, or I've seen snakes. I've seen leeches. Leeches are really common, especially what is it called? The woolly bugger. The woolly bugger is a really common pattern for it. See, It's meant to be like a leech sort of pattern. Some people put the like flashaboo, which is like this this little flashy, glittery string that sticks out. Some people like to put that in there, so it's like more like minnowy. And then sort of going along with the nymphs, you got eggs, which is just, that's more common for like salmon or whatever. It's just basically, it looks like an egg or like roe or whatever. It's bright. It's meant to sort of evoke fish to want to strike it. And then there's a lot of like top water stuff too. I don't know why it doesn't show this here, but there's like top water like poppers and stuff like that, where it's very similar to how it is with normal fishing, where you're throwing it out, and when you bring it back, you're doing it in short jerking motions that are like disturbing the top of the water a lot better. Kind of what this gurgler does. So the gurgler, what's happening with that is you're gonna walk it back. So you're gonna like make short strokes, sudden violent strokes, and what it's gonna do is that gurgler is gonna bounce back and forth and cause a commotion on the surface, making a lot like bubble trail and all that to get fish to want to strike it, because it looks like an injured animal or whatever on the, or animal in distress, because that's a big strike evoker in a lot of fish. Is fish want to go for something that's in distress, because that's the thing that's going to be the easiest to grab. So yeah, that's